On BBC Local Radio in Shropshire, South Cheshire, North Staffordshire, the West Midlands, Worcestershire and Herefordshire. You're listening to The Gruesome Twosome. Mike Adams and Chris Savoury on the show that values your vinyls. It's The Record Collectors between now and 9 tonight.
Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 1 1 2 3. Our guests tonight on the programme are one of the most popular bands from the 60s and the 70s and popular today. It's my pleasure to welcome back to the programme the record collectors John McNally from The Searchers. Welcome to the show, John.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody.
You're on a middle of a tour, which is a short tour, yes. So throughout the United Kingdom, but this is in fact a different tour from what was planned.
The original tour was planned. It was Dion, Dwayne Eddy and Chris Montez. There was 40 dates involved for Derek Block. And what happened was Dion pulled out on the last minute, and then Dwayne started playing games. Then, of course, the poor promoter had a sort of a fit, and in the end he lost all the dates. And lucky enough, Robert Pratt, who was doing this little tour, said, I'll take a few dates and do it. We're also doing another one soon with Flying Music. Again, 10 dates with Bob UV and the Fortunes. I think Flying Music and Royal Chimes do very, very good promotions.
Now, though we're not a gold station, we're a BBC station, but we do take our music very seriously on the Record Collectors. All these gold stations have made 60s music very popular again. I mean, what are your views about the longevity of the music that you and your colleagues, particularly Merseybeat colleagues, have had?
Strange, I have mixed opinions on the gold stations. Originally when they came, they were very good, but now I think it's overkill. I think they should mix it more and cover the last 30 years, because sometimes people just stick to like the 50s and 60s. But I think they are doing it now, but I think it's saturation point that makes the 60s a bit flat. Same with the 70s. They thought the 70s would take off, but it hasn't taken off at all.
Of those very early days, I mean, those memories, what was your first, perhaps, really big memory with the Searchers that sticks in your mind?
Before we made it, really, when we went to Star Club Hamburg. They were the sort of, we thought, hang on, we're going somewhere here. You know, when you go to a major club like Star Club Hamburg, especially with the Beatles being there and King Size Tail and the Dominoes, and also you're playing with American artists such as Ray Charles, Jerry Lewis, Jim Vincent, the Everleys, Fats Domino, Joey D, all these people you'd never dreamed of meeting, and you're meeting and playing on the same stage as them.
What kind of record collection did you have in Liverpool?
I've still got it. They're all out. In fact, what I'm doing at the moment, I've got loads of vinyl albums. I've got loads of Ella Fitzgerald, a lot of jazz, and I'm just trying to get a turntable now to fit into my system, because I bought a CD system without a turntable. Big mistake, you know. I played CDs. I don't like CDs, funny enough. I find they're very flat, very clinical. But I like the old Elvis stuff you put on, the Gene Vincent stuff. You get the odd bass note which gives the ambience of the old song, you know.
But your own record collection, when you used to go down to the North End music stores and down to the basement there, what records were you buying sort of circa 1960, 61, 62?
I was buying people like mainly Buddy Holly and Johnny Burnett and a lot of American stuff. Hank Williams as well originally.
Wasn't it in the movie The Searchers with John Wayne where That'll Be the Day? Sure. And isn't that not the movie you got your band name from?
That's right, correct. I mean, there's two bands got there's two things from the John Wayne movie The Searchers. One was That'll Be the Day, the Crickets Buddy Holly song, and the other one was like Our Name, The Searchers. There was two things from that movie.
Did you ever attend that Buddy Holly when he actually played in Liverpool? Did you go?
No, biggest mistake ever. I was working nights then. I was working 8 till 8 in the morning because he was on the Philharmonic that night, and I couldn't go.
Let's choose one of your very early hits. You choose what you want.
I think one of the ones that stands up a lot, I mean, we don't play it on stage, strange enough, is Goodbye My Love.
Let's move forward a little bit. Memories, repeatable memories, because there's been so many movies made about the 60s. I mean, recently, probably the most prominent movie was Backbeat, which must have given you a few chuckles.
It did actually, but once I got used to the accent, I always find when people try and do Liverpool accents, they tend to be like a bit more Birmingham thrown in, don't they? You know what I mean? Like, you know, it sounds strange. Once I got used to it, I thought the movie was very good. I mean, I thought the guy who played Stuart Sutcliffe was superb. Lennon was a bit over the top, but I mean, I really enjoyed it.
Because you knew John Lennon quite well.
Yeah, we knew all the lads fairly well. I mean, as one can get to know people, you know, on the same market as them. And we knew them from the Star Club, Lennon particularly. He was quite a down-to-earth chap, old John. And McCartney's the same. Harrison was fairly quiet, and Bestie was very, very quiet. I'm talking about the original Beatles now, by the way. Bestie was very quiet, and so was Stuart Sutcliffe. So, I mean, we knew them as one can, without being too personal, you know.
Do you ever see Paul McCartney today, or, George Harrison, or...?
We see Paul McCartney every now and then. In fact, he invited us to a do not long back, which we went to, and then Frank went to see the Buddy Holly thing, and McCartney was there, and he said hello and sends his regards, all that kind of stuff, you know. Oh yeah, he keeps in touch. He's quite nice with that McCartney. He's very good.
When you signed with Pi Records, and it was Tony Hatch with who would be the producer then, and you cut those very early albums which went to #1, and you had the 3 very big hits, and that really continued to 1966. Was there anything that you recorded that's never seen the light of day?
No, I think everything's been... There's been a couple of tracks on Liberty that have never been released, strange enough.
I think one of the things which our listener will probably be curious about is when Mike Pender left the group. We know about the early changes in the band, but when Mike Pender, he had been partners for 30 years or thereabout.
Yeah, there was 3 of us partners, myself, Frank and Mike, for the first since 64. And Mike left in 1986, 10.5 years ago. And on the Cloud, I might add, without any of the boys knowing what he was doing, he'd employ these 2 lads to go out as the searchers, so we had to put an injunction on them, stop them doing it. And we made them sort of sign an agreement they wouldn't go out as the searchers, and basically he did so, but he's being promoted in certain areas, not by him possibly, but other promoters and scrupulous promoters who can get away with it for a few days and advertise the searchers. I mean, again, we don't particularly like it, but there's nothing we can do about it. We try to police the best we can. I mean, we feel sorry for the ordinary sort of bloke who's bought a ticket and goes and sees one of our ex-members with a young band, you know, and have nothing to do with the searchers. We weren't even born when the searchers had records, so that's what we think is wrong for the whole thing, you know. People making money on a band that's still going at the moment. I mean, it was Mike's choice to leave the band, not our choice, and we just carried on as normal.
One of the things which I noticed about your music is that there was you picked up on like a folk rock element, and it seems to be a time when your music was getting quite serious, and somehow I got the feeling that you didn't get the support from the record label at the time to sort of promote the new searchers. If I use the new searchers in the nicest way, when in fact there was a much younger audience that were enjoying the kind of music which had deeper meanings.
Anyone in any career will get that sort of a wall up against, like from record companies. We had it in the Sire days with Warner Brothers. We hit a point where we did 2 albums for Sire, and Sire were released to Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers was going through a very sticky financial time then, and they had people like albums such as Tusk, which cost millions to make, The Long Run by the Eagles, which cost millions to make, and never sold. So basically what happened, they brought this accountant in, Charles Levison, and he decided that the whole company needs a restructural, and he sort of sacked most bands that were on it, including us. And of course our 3rd album was never made, although it was in the pipeline. Next year it was being booked and the songs were picked. He cancelled everything and decided to start Warner's afresh, which he did, you know.
Let's move right ahead to the present day and what's in plan for the searchers in the 90s up to the millennium. What have you got a record label at the moment?
We're in discussion with a company called GSC. In fact, we've done 6 tracks for them in Germany, and of course they are in discussion with Virgin Records and BMG. We had an album out, as you know, in '88 on BMG, which was Coconut Records. And we're halfway through this album now. They're coming to see us again on the 8th of June to discuss the financial bits and pieces of the whole deal. And hopefully, once we resolve all that, we'll finish the album off and probably be released in the next 12 months.
Well, hopefully we can review it on the Record Collectors. On behalf of all our listeners, can I just say John McNally and the Searchers, thank you very much for all the fun and enjoyment from people, literally from 5 to 50.
Thank you very much, and keep collecting those records.